There you go.
Welcome to the NHL Play of the Day. It's the SBR Double Play for Saturday, November 9th. I'm Ian Cameron. We are back, joined by Adam Booth, as always, as we're ready to give you and deliver our plays of the day for this Saturday NHL card. As you can see, our plays are at the bottom of the screen, our overall records with plays given out on these videos. Also, you can see right now on the bottom of the screen. So let's get right to it, Adam. As you can see, we're both interested in the same game and have picked the same game here for our play of the day, but we're going at it from different aspects. You're on the side, I'm on the total. Hint, hint to our viewers, maybe you do a little side total correlated parlay here tonight with this Golden Knights Capitals game and hopefully be able to go 2-0 with that. So let's get to it, courtesy of SBRodds.com. The Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Washington Capitals tonight in NHL action. It actually is one of the more marquee matchups on the card today. We've got Washington right now anywhere from minus 118 to minus 125 as home favorites in this game, as the total is 6.5, slightly shaded to the over, minus 110 to minus 115. In most areas right now. Reminder, use SBRodds.com every day in every sport, so that you're getting the best number and price with each of your wagers. This is definitely a good game. Vegas has had a nice start to the road trip. Washington's that they're currently on. Washington Capitals are on fire, just scoring goals as if it's no big deal. Not a concern for them whatsoever. This offense has been rolling now for not just a few games, but it's been weeks that Washington's put up a ton of goals. Adam, let's start with you. Vegas and Washington. Where are you headed for this game?
Yeah, so we decided to put the plays at the start of the show. It's a short show anyway, so it's not a big deal to sort of keep it a secret until the end. We don't need you to be in the dark about it, but we do hope that you'll listen to the reasons why, and that will help you make an assessment as to whether you agree with the rationale. So as you can see, I'm on the Washington Capitals money line. This is the Golden Knights, as everyone knows, have only been in the league for 2 seasons. This is their third. They don't have a rivalry with many Eastern teams. In fact, I'd say the Capitals are probably the only team you could say that. And it's on the back of, in their inaugural season, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. It was pretty much a one-sided affair through the series. But as far as regular season matches go, the Golden Knights, I think, have won 3 of 4, and last year they split. They went 1-1. Yeah, that's right. And so it's not that I don't think Vegas can win today. It's that over this road trip, Ian mentioned that they got off to an okay start, but they're 1-4 in their last 4 games, and even the one victory over the Blue Jackets, they were outplayed, and they, I dare say, we're lucky to get out of there with a win. They were playing against a Jackets team that is struggling to be good on both ends of the ice for full 60 at the moment. So I still think maybe Marc-Andre Fleury is a bit of an advantage in goal, but Holtby has been good along the win streak. The Capitals have been better on the road than at home. I think they're 8-2 on the road and 4-3 at home or something like that. But this, I'm not a big believer in a team can't win at home if they can only win on the road. You know, it doesn't fit like that for me. Vegas is not playing that great right now, and we're seeing them priced where they are because it's Vegas and they have a talented forward group. They've got a good goaltender. I think their defense core is steady but very average. And Ian mentioned on Thursday, the Capitals are scoring goals for fun. And that offensive discrepancy gives the Washington Capitals more value today. So I've seen the line bounce around. I took it at minus 126 2 hours ago, and it's kind of hovered around there. It went as low as, I think, 117, a couple places, minus 117, that is. Honestly, anything, I've got them at 60%. So I don't think you're going to have a problem finding value on the Capitals today. Vegas can steal a win here, but I really think it would be sort of ambushing Washington in the first period, kind of like the Avalanche did a few weeks ago. The Capitals would have to be a bit asleep out of the gate. But once that Washington offense gets rolling, I don't think Vegas at the moment has the depth on offense that the Capitals have shown through the opening month. So, I mean, Washington's at 50 even strength goals this year. Their power play is 25%. Vegas' power play is 21. It's not a huge discrepancy there. But yeah, 50 even strength goals in 17 games. I mean, that's just ludicrous. And as far as even strength, I mentioned this in the article, even strength save percentage. The Capitals actually have a better one than the Golden Knights, and that could be on the back of Subban having a couple of rough games. But Holtby, as I said, has been a lot better. If you just take his numbers through the win streak, it's been a lot better. And so I'm not expecting anything out of the ordinary today. I think the slightly shorter price on the Capitals is still value.
All right, Adam, looking at Washington, you at minus 126 is the number he locked in with the Capitals. And yeah, when it's a team that's red hot, we ride the hot, we fade the cold, and until they finally lose a game, that's the way you got to go with it, with these teams that are just playing great hockey, finding ways to win. And both of these teams offensively, which is going to lead in right into my totals play on this game, Vegas and Washington. As you can see, now look, I would love to come on here every day and give you new philosophies, new things to look at, new ideas, and new games to look at from a betting standpoint. And I was kind of saying, you know what, I'm going to go back to the same old thing I've been talking about for the last several weeks, Washington over. Nobody's going to learn anything new doing that. But here's the thing. This is not a great Saturday board, in my opinion. I thought it was very difficult to find really good plays across the board, side and total. That's one. Number two, the Vegas Washington over, the Washington over trend keeps cashing. That's number two. And number three, we're trying to, put money in your pocket here. We are trying to give you winners. We got to give you what we think is our strongest play each day. And even though it's boring, it's dull. You've heard me talk about this a million gazillion fulfillion times already. The Capitals over. I got to go with it because it's my favorite play, strongest play on this Saturday board today. So as you can see, I'm on Vegas, Washington, over 6.5 minus 110. I've repeated a lot of the stuff in the past videos, but I'll reiterate it here. It's a great power play. What are they? Fourth in the NHL now in terms of their power play. They've been able to score at even strength. Let me give you some of the stats of their players. Backstrom, 13 points on the season. Oshie, 12 points. Ovechkin, 22 points. And by the way, Ovechkin scored 3 times in head-to-head games against Vegas, both games last year. Jacob Vrana, he is the guy that's really stepped up, and he's a big reason why this team's offensive depth right now is scary, because he's been one of those guys that's elevated his game. He's got 14 points already on the season. 9 goals, 5 assists for the Capitals. Yeah.
He's come out of the woodwork there as a I don't want to say dark horse, but just unexpected diamond in the rough. You could say he's been excellent through the opening month.
11 points for Lars Eller. He's playing on the third line. So that tells you all you need to know. 11 points. We're barely a month into the season from a third line guy. Like this is unprecedented. Well, I've seen this kind of thing before where a team gets red hot offensively, but this is right up there in terms of teams where all 4 of their lines are contributing. You've got double-digit points getters in 1 month into the season that exist pretty much on all 4 lines, or at least 3 of the 4 lines. It's just an impressive offensive group right now. And we know there's high-end skill, high-end talent on both. You got Carl Hagelin and Lars Eller, who are skilled players playing on bottom forwards, forward groups on this Washington team. And they have skill in their game. And that just shows you the depth they've got, because they've got, obviously they're loaded in the top 6, but their bottom 6 has been getting it done too. The Vegas Golden Knights, finally, they actually got, Adam, a good game out of Malcolm Subban, but it still didn't get them a victory the other night against Toronto. 2-1 loss in overtime. But yeah, it was definitely Malcolm Subban's best game. He was pumped up. He had family and friends at Scotiabank Arena that night to watch him play in person. So, he was going to give it his all and try to be as strong as he could be in net. And it was definitely his best performance of the season so far for the Golden Knights. But still not able to get Vegas a victory. And you're right. They did start the road trip with a win against Columbus, but a little fortuitous to win that. So Vegas knows they're going to have to step up their play. They're actually talking about how, they didn't shoot the puck enough against Frederick Anderson and the Toronto Maple Leafs in the last game. I like hearing that in terms of betting overs. When coach comes out from the previous game and says, we didn't shoot the puck enough. Well, guess what you're probably going to see tonight?
Start throwing everything at the net. Yeah.
Exactly. Be a little bit more simple with your game. Obviously, they didn't like only scoring one goal. And to be honest, the offense was lackluster in the Columbus game for the Golden Knights as well. So that looks like a mindset that they're going to be going with. You've got, again, we talked about Washington's power play being fourth in the NHL. Vegas 11th power play currently in the NHL. So that's a good power play unit. Vegas, or Washington rather, they've improved a little bit, definitely in recent games with their penalty kill, but overall for the season, still below average with that. And they were really struggling early on. They have picked it up a little, but they're going to be facing, a fringe top 10 power play in the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. Again, Vegas ranked 11th right now in the NHL with the man advantage. So I think there's going to be some opportunities for Vegas, especially if they're going to use throw the puck at the net, look for traffic, look for rebounds, try to score in the blue paint area, try to get, in Braden Holtby's vision. And I would assume it's going to be Holtby in net tonight for the Capitals. Fleury likely for Vegas after they gave Malcolm Subban the start close to home for him. But nevertheless, I think you've got two teams that offensively, I think Vegas will get their offense going a little bit, because you look at Washington's defensive numbers, they're still not great by any stretch of the imagination. They got into that wild game against Florida the other night, still giving up goals, but right now Washington's outscoring their problems, and they're probably not going to really look to tighten things up at this point, Adam, until they lose a game. That's what I find. When these teams start scoring goals in bunches, but they keep winning games, they keep thinking, this is the way we can play and we can win and we can be successful this way. So that's why I think as long as Washington keeps winning, you can keep riding this Washington over train. If Washington loses a game during this run, then I get to thinking to myself, maybe after a loss finally, you're going to see Washington try to say, hey, we finally paid the price for being a little lackadaisical and lax defensively.
Yeah.
We got to shore it up and tighten it up. But until they lose, I think they're going to try to keep playing this high-scoring style, because it's been working. It's been what they're used to, and they've been winning with it. So I think that's something you want to keep in mind as well.
I think you're right on that note about the winning versus once you hit that one loss where maybe you're up 4-2 and all of a sudden you blow a 2-goal lead in the third and you lose 6-4 in regulation. Then the coach is like, all right, well, we can't just outscore the opposition to push our way through games. And that's sort of what I was thinking. A bit of a concern with the Nashville game today coming into San Jose is, will it be the type of game where they'll focus so much on, 9 goals is ugly, even if, it's 9-7, but a 9-4 lopsided, the game was over halfway through the second period, basically, because there was a 5-minute stretch where they led in 3 or 4 goals in a row. And so it's the type of situation coming into San Jose where maybe Laviolette is saying, we need to, sure, keep the offense rolling, but I don't want any of our forwards not back checking, play a full 200-foot game. And so I agree with that. I think I'm not on that over right now, but I had it's written down in my notebook. I had it at 56% to the under, but that's mostly off of Vegas just not scoring at the moment. And I think that could change today. So I'm going to take another look through that one, Ian, and possibly add it to the card, and I'll tweet it out if I do.
Especially when it's a good team off a loss and a good team off a low-scoring loss. That's when I usually look for IK. Offense now is going to take precedent. Offense is going to be the focus. We got to get our goal scoring production kick-started again. I think you're going to see that from Vegas. And you're right. The point about Nashville is, by the way, we do need to briefly bring that up before we wrap up this show today. I've never seen anything like that. The Nashville-Colorado game the other night. That was unbelievable. It was 3-1 Nashville with 15 minutes left in the second period. And then with about 6 minutes left in the second period, barely 8-9 minutes later, it was 7-3 Colorado. 6 goals in like a less than 10-minute span. I've never seen something like that. That's unbelievable. It was like an avalanche, literally. Falling.
I was saying to a buddy, Eric Oblivia, that he was saying, because we were talking before the game about who's going to step up in Landeskog and Rantanen's spot. And was it Donskoy that got the hat trick? I forget who got the hat trick, but basically everything in that 5-minute span just went into the net. And I talk about how goals are random in hockey, and this is why coaches want their teams just to throw everything at the net. Carolina Hurricanes have done this for years, and it makes a difference because it's a rubber object moving at high speeds, deflecting off of shin pads, faces, sticks, absolutely everything. Just get it towards the net. And the Colorado Avalanche just did that for that 5-minute stretch after they were down 1 or 2 goals there. And they were rewarded for it. It was easy game after that. So no, I know what you're saying exactly.
It was crazy to see, especially considering the last 4 or 5 games. I think they had 7 or 8 goals combined in their last 5 games. Like their offense was struggling and scuffling mightily. The Avalanche, and then boom, that second period arrives and the floodgates open, and it was just something to behold. And they ran Nashville right out of the rink the other night. So I also kind of like the Nashville side in that game a little bit against San Jose. Well. I think they're going to be a PO team. Not happy with the way that game went. And again, I'm not sold on San Jose just because they've won a couple against some weak competition. So they'll be facing a good team and I think an angry team tonight. So we'll see if they can handle that. So we'll wrap things up. We'll recap our plays. I'm on Vegas, Washington, over 6.5, -110. Adam likes Washington on the money line, -126 against Vegas. That will wrap up our Saturday edition of the SBR NHL Double Play for Saturday, November 9th. I'm Ian Cameron. For Adam Booth, enjoy your Saturday. We're back Tuesday, 10:15 a.m. Eastern for our next Play of the Day video. Until then, good luck on the ice. We'll see you on Tuesday.
And I'm supposed to end the broadcast now. Here we go. Thanks, guys.